welcome everybody to the March 9th, 2023 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here?
Here.
Here. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of March 2nd, 2023.
I recommend the approval of the minutes for the meeting of March 2nd, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 5, bid opening 2022-2 CCMG funding project, 177th Street / 179th Street paving. Looks like we have 2 bids. The first one is from Milestone Contractors out of Griffith, Indiana. Yeah, I'm like a caveman. Okay, I have the bid proposal. The bid bond. The Form 96. It. What am I looking for? Just the non-collusion affidavit. And the non-collusion affidavit. The total amount bid for the project is $1,875,170. Again, that's $1,875,170. And again, that's from Milestone. Get this in there. Yeah. The second bid is from Reith Riley from Gary, Indiana. This back. And the bid proposal. There's only tabs. The Form 96. The bid bond and the non-collusion affidavit. And make sure I have the right one. Yes. Their bid is $1,721,998.80. Does anybody need that read again? $1,721,998.80. And that is from Reith Riley.
Good morning to the board.
Morning.
I ask that you refer this to our engineer consultant for review, tabulation, and recommendation.
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we forward this to the engineering consultants for review and tabulation.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives.
Sorry. Miss Anastasia Fratto is online, and I apologize to the board. She submitted a letter to the Board of Public Works and Safety yesterday before the agenda, and I did not have a chance to send it upstairs, so I need to make this request. This is the message that I talked to you about. It's Fayette, on the south sidewalk that is east of Homan Avenue. They're requesting that the sidewalk be blocked.
Right.
And that they construct a structure over the sidewalk and park a dumpster in the parking lane. So if it's okay with the board, I'll just read her request since I didn't.
Yeah, I just want to give the board a little context. Ms. Fratto is a managing member of the group that is rehabilitating the Bank Hammond building.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Kevin. Request for approval for installation of dock extension that would temporarily block the sidewalk along Fayette and dumpster placement in the parking stall on Fayette, which would be adjacent to the dock. On behalf of the development team for the renovation of the Bank Calumet, I appreciate the Board of Public Works and Safety's consideration to this request. To provide some background, we started construction on the building in September of 2022 and have been on schedule to substantially complete the building by the end of the year. This year. We currently have installed an elevator hoist in the rear, that is the east end of the building, along with a new dock that we installed on our property. This is the main means of removing all existing materials and transporting all the materials in the building on floors 2 through 9. Due to supply chain issues and lead time for the new elevator equipment, our elevators for the building will not be installed until the end of this year. Therefore, all subcontractors and installers transport equipment, materials in and out of the building utilizing this elevator hoist system and dock as we've installed. For the safety of our contractors and to provide more room to maneuver equipment, we are requesting to extend the dock temporarily to the edge of the sidewalk and place a dumpster in the parking lane adjacent to the area. We would also fence off the extended area to ensure that it remains secure to prevent anyone from walking in this area. We anticipate this temporary dock and dumpster would need to be through the remainder of construction at the building and would be removed at the end of this year. We appreciate the board's review and consideration, and they have attached some photos, and I'm happy to provide a formal copy of this letter, and I will, to the board secretary. Engineering department has reviewed this request. Ms. Anastasia Fratto is on the line in case there is any sort of questions from the board, but I would ask for your approval of this request.
The only thing I was going to add is that it might be, it seems reasonable, and obviously we were very excited about the project. It might be reasonable to maybe set a status of it for maybe 60 or 90 days, just
Wonderful.
to make sure it's working all right and there's no need for modification.
Okay. Yeah, Dean and I talked about this night before last in a large degree, so.
And I would also say that at some point when we move to phase 2 of Homan Avenue, the Fayette approach will close, and so it'll really be sort of a much better work space for the Bank Calumet renovation too at that time. So it'll be less impactful once we close Fayette, the east approach to Homan.
Okay. Is April 13th okay for the status?
I'd say a little further.
A little further?
I was thinking like maybe.
Oh, you said 90, oh,
Yeah,
90
maybe
days?
like June.
Okay.
June 15th, does that sound okay?
Wonderful.
I second.
She's gonna let her make it, that's okay.
I make a motion that we approve the request for the installation of the dock and dumpster placement and set this for status for June 15th, 2023 for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, is there anything else from department heads or their representatives? Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Well, the construction season is starting. I had a request after the agenda, unfortunately, for a Kennedy Avenue project from 64th to 69th to close down the southbound lanes, and there's going to be some access to businesses as much as possible during construction, March 20th, in approximately 5 months. So I'm asking for the request so they can get their information boards up for the residents.
So 5 months starting that date, March?
Yes.
And the city, I'm guessing, knew that was coming or potentially coming?
Yes, however, I think it's very important for the city to support the businesses along that corridor during this time, and so I would just re-emphasize to the engineering department and the contractors out there the importance of not making it as much as possible access, but to ensure that we have access to the businesses there because we want them to be able to be open and accessible.
Gotcha.
Yes, we agree, but there's going to be times where it's impossible when they're paving and putting in concrete and so forth.
Yeah, I get that there might be temporary, but
Right.
5 months, I assume that there's.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we make contact with them, and they have our contact information and also the engineering.
Yeah, Mark, I think we just always want to make sure it's a priority, that's all.
Oh,
It's the number one
absolutely,
priority, so,
absolutely.
okay.
I feel their pain, because I've talked to several of them, Dairy Queen and the Pancake House, so.
Okay,
And we're trying to work with them as much as possible, and if they have any concerns, we try to address them to the positive, but they do understand it's coming. And they see the other side, the northbound, and that's what the southbound side's gonna look, so they can see what's gonna be the end result.
okay.
So I would appreciate it, approval.
Make a motion to approve his request.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve engineering's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anything else from department heads or their representatives? If not, we'll move on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Dean Button Capital Improvements Board requesting $1,870,125.73 of CIB funding to be allocated for the 20% match Summer Street reconstruction, Columbia Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard, with intergovernmental agreement previously approved.
And so last week, I believe the board approved the intergovernmental agreement with water and sanitary, the sanitary district. So this is the city's portion of the roadway and storm sewer 20% match. The utilities are meeting their 20% match for their portion. It's a $2.8 million deposit that we need to make with NDOT to move forward on the $14 million reconstruction of Summer Street between Columbia Avenue and Indianapolis Boulevard. The Capital Improvements Board met on Monday and approved the allocation, the funding to be set aside for the project, so I'd ask for your approval of this request.
Okay, and I will point out that it's been signed by the controller and the mayor.
Motion to approve engineering's request with Capital Improvement Board for the Summer Street reconstruction.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $84,100 of CIB funding to be allocated for the Florida Avenue infrastructure, construction engineering, and corresponding agreement with Nees Engineering submitted for approval.
So the board opened, well, this was Florida Avenue. So the board recently opened the project to move forward. We were short on some ARP funding, so the Capital Improvements Board has come forward to help with both a portion of the construction, which that agreement will come in the next week or so. And then this is for the construction engineering. We've reviewed the agreement. The Capital Improvement Board set aside the funding for this project, and I'd ask for your approval of both the funding allocation and the agreement with Nees Engineering.
Okay, and again, I will point out that it was signed by the controller and the mayor.
Motion to approve Mr. Button's request for the Florida Avenue project as stated.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter C, correspondence received from First Group Engineering recommending the bid for the State Line Avenue closure project at Cleveland Street, Kenwood Street, Wildwood Road, and Detroit Street be awarded to Reith Riley Construction Incorporated, who was the lowest bidder in the amount of $542,004.08.
Just in support of the engineer's recommendation, the engineering department has reviewed it, and we'd ask that you award the agreement to Reith Riley. The project is under the engineer's estimate, and so we'd like to move forward on that. If you could make the award, then we can move forward with bonds and insurance and funding.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the request for the State Line Avenue closure project as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter D, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the resignation of Correctional Officer Ashley Vargas effective March 2nd, 2023.
Motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, correspondence received from Dean Button recommending the approval for the previously approved agreement for professional services with CSK Architects, PC, for the proposed rebidding of the new police garage.
A small garage facility has been requested by, Captain McKegney, I got that right? Can't get the, to provide some additional storage for utility sorts of vehicles on the site. We bid the project last year. It came in way over budget. We decided to make some alterations to the plans, to make changes to the building to try to come within a budget that's reasonable to the police department. And we'd like you to approve that the agreement with CSK Architects be approved so that they can move forward with getting future bid dates set up for that project. The funding for this was and is intended to come from the jail fund.
The only question I have, do you know what the turnaround time is once to start receiving bids on this project?
It's about 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
Yeah, so public bids, we'll have to come to you for notice. Then there's first and second advertisement 1 week apart, then we skip a week, and then the bid opening. So it's 5 weeks from the time we come to you for asking you to bid the project.
Okay, thank you, Dean.
You're welcome.
Motion to approve Mr. Button's request for the new police garage.
Yes, second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Letter F, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearing.
Motion to set the request for registration hearings for March 23rd, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 8, matters from board members. Do either of you have anything?
No, sir.
Dean, if I could, we got something from Site Services. Does that ring a bell with you?
Sure, yeah.
Can we talk about that now?
Absolutely. I received this yesterday. Our engineering consultant had coordinated with Site Services. They are the company that does our crack sealing. We have an annual contract with them. They are offering that they hold their price for the next year to continue with the project. The engineering department's reviewed this request, and we would ask that the board accept their offer to continue with the crack sealing project.
So the price is staying the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we thought it was going up, so that's.
No.
Okay, then we're good then.
Yep.
Okay, do we need to make a motion on this then, or probably? Okay.
Motion to approve the request for the extension of the contract for Site Services.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 9, under new business, letter A, contracts for demolition services with JM Industrial Services Incorporated for properties located at 6812 Idaho, the garage, 6724 Woodmar Garage, 530 Conkey Street Commercial Building, and 1524 Michigan Street Garage, 6720 Ontario Garage, 4751 Oak Avenue, 4315 Toll Avenue, 4407 Baltimore, and 940 Field front and rear submitted for approval.
Good morning, Mr. President and Board. On behalf of the Inspections Department, Mr. Kearney, he has already given the award to JM on these properties for being the lowest responsible and responsive bidder on these projects. These are just the contracts. And I know that there's that a couple of these are ready to go. I have to speak with Mr. Kearney on a couple as well. But we would request the contracts to be approved as submitted. I see Chris behind me here, though.
I believe 4315 has an active agreement going forward when I last checked the notes.
Yeah, and there's also an issue with 530 Conkey. So we'd ask them to be approved. The contracts, of course, the permits are held down in inspections. So Kiki will, you need to, make sure you talk to Kiki about the permits. So we'd ask the contracts be approved, but ultimately, the permits are issued downstairs in inspections.
Okay.
Motion to approve the contracts as submitted for demo.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, change order 22 for Leopardo for the LaSalle Building Project Phase 3, submitted for approval.
Motion to approve the change order 22 from Leopardo as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Letter C, right-of-way permits. There's 2 of them received from engineering submitted for approval.
Good morning. The 2 permits that we received was one from Luth Brothers Roofing Company. They are re-roofing the pump station up by Wolf Lake Channel. They're asking just to close for about 2 to 3 days from working hours, the bike trail, so they can put their dump truck there.
Okay.
So I would recommend approval of that one. NIPSCO has 5 poles they are replacing, which is typical. I would recommend approval. That's up by Sheffield, Hoffman area. And we received one this morning, and this isn't anything big. It's 6320 Nebraska for fixing their sewer in the alley from Ficama, approximately on 314, weather permitting. So if I can get that one taken care of too.
That was 6320 Nebraska, Mark?
Yes, sir.
And it starts when?
314, weather permitting, and it should take probably a day or 2.
Okay.
So
No, just mention that address in there also, yeah.
Motion to approve the right-of-way permits for the Wolf Lake Channel, the NIPSCO poles, and 6320 Nebraska for sewer repairs beginning 3/14 of 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Letter D, disposal authorizations received from the police department submitted for approval.
Motion to approve the disposal authorization submitted by the Hammond Police Department.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, first extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 843 Logan Street.
Yeah, they were, yeah,
You're-
Kelly wasn't here last week. The owner came, said
Yep.
that they were going to send the rehab, so we would ask that it be approved as presented.
Okay.
Motion to approve the first extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 843 Logan Street as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter F, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 7925 Nevada Street.
These folks have been before you. It's the, I forget the name of the business, but it's on the service road.
Yes.
Between Kennedy and Klein, and they're going to rehab it. So we also have requested within that rehab agreement removal of like the interior booths and stuff to have it be a more open commercial space depending on the future use. So we request its approval.
Okay.
Motion to approve this agreement for 7925 Nevada as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter G, request through C-Click Fix to remove the resident-only parking signs on Davis as the high school has been closed for years and is no longer needed.
Is the request engineering take a look at that, or Ian, do you want to speak on that?
I didn't know of the request, but I don't have any objection to that.
Okay.
We don't either. Tom Strabave, Lieutenant Strabave's been dealing with this, so we don't have any.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're good? Okay.
Just, notify them.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the request for C-Click Fix as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter H, notice of violation hearing for property at 4310 Sheffield Avenue. Good morning.
Property was inspected on February 3rd, 2023, and was found to have a kitchen in the basement, but there were no sleeping rooms, so it was not technically an apartment, but we already were in contact with the owner, and they have already taken the necessary precautions to remove the kitchen sink and gas line for the stove, so we asked the board to approve the removal order.
Motion to approve the renewal order for 4310 Sheffield.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Number 10, old business. I see none. Number 11, rental registration hearings, letter A, 1231 Sherman. Good morning.
Your Honor, I think I'm being court. The honorable board, I should say. Here on behalf of Paul Dicterock, and actually A and B, the 1231 Sherman is his property. Also 5519 Claude Street is his property as well.
Okay, we'll do them individually if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
On his behalf, my client has 6 properties that he's had in Hammond since 2013 or 14. Never had a violation regarding any of their rental registrations. Currently, he sold 4 of them. There's 2 that are in question here. Of course, the first one was not habitable last year. It was a rehab. So he did buy, before he sold the other 4 properties, he had the rental agreements or the rental registrations for those. He was unaware, since it wasn't going to be rented because it wasn't able to be habitable, that he had to purchase that. Recently, in the last couple of weeks, the properties are ready. Both those properties, he did get the rental registrations because now he's putting them on the market to rent.
okay,
So that's a situation that we were in, and he just wanted to resolve that today.
okay. Nick?
Yeah, so for 1231 Sherman, we have a single-family home. The owner has owned this one since March of 2014. Been registered on time from 2014 through 2021, and we're just here for 2022. As far as any, work that's being done, I would need to verify that through our permitting to make sure that licensed contractors, pull the permits and, call for inspections of the work. But other than that, there's been no issues, at the property as far as I can tell. There was a board up that was paid back in 11 that was part of his ownership. So, yeah, this is the first time he's ever been late with the property.
Okay, so we're talking about Sherman, correct? Only?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, sir, we usually grant we waive the fee the first time. It's a one-time thing, so make sure that you don't do that again going forward. You probably know January 1st to April 15th every year. So, like I said, it's a courtesy that we extend, usually one time only, so just keep that in mind, okay? Thank you. Yeah.
Motion to approve the waiver of the late fee for 1231 Sherman.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, moving on. Letter B, 5519 Claude Street.
So this property is one that he just purchased in June of 21. This is a 2-unit property, and we are here for 2022. He only owns for that year. So other than that, this one looks like in 16 there was some work going on. Permits were issued, inspections done. That was prior to his ownership. He registered in 21. We missed last year, so we're here today.
Okay, can we just have a reason why this one was missed last year? Just you forget or something?
It was the same thing. It was uninhabitable.
Okay, uninhabitable?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I didn't have any money in it.
okay, then we're good. Stan?
Motion to waive the late fee for 5519 Claude.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
If you want to stay at the end of the meeting, you can register if you'd like.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
They ingratiated that very well.
They ingratiated that very well, yes. Letter C, 2920 Kenwood Street. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. The property was up for,
Can you give us your name first?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My name is Denise Concession. I'm here from Max Management,
Okay,
representing the owner of 2920 Kenwood Street. The property was up for sale last year. We did turn in a rental registration, but I was told because it was up for sale that I didn't need to register. And then we had 3 contracts, so we went literally almost the whole entire year dropping out escrow, and we just kind of missed it.
so you said nearly the entire year. It was never
Yes.
rented at any time last
It
year?
was rented in November.
November, for November and December?
Yes, and we
Okay.
overlooked the fact that it didn't have a rental registration.
Okay. Go ahead, Nick.
This is a single-family home. Looks like the last time it was registered was in 2020 by Property Boss. The only documentation that we have indicating Max Properties was in 2018. There was a tenant update form submitted by Max Properties, and then, but since the current owner's ownership has been registered, registration was submitted by Property Boss each year. So that's, the last one that we have on file is for 2020, this is for 2920 Kenwood. So actually, we do not have 2021 or 2022 rental registration in the system. However, there is a file for a few other properties that were brought before the board last year, but this one was not included in that batch.
We did provide proof that it was registered in 2021.
Okay, is that the proof that you're holding right now?
Yes, but the proof that I provided to the office actually has the receipt
Okay.
and the sticker,
Okay, I got you.
and I did provide that.
We have a receipt from 3/19/21 that mentions 92 properties / units with a range of sticker numbers, and then an address written at the top of the sticker number pages, right? And then, so when I type that into Zone Pro, which is our property database, the receipt itself, I ran a report, the receipt that was supposedly applied to the Kenwood address for 2021 was receipt number, or I'm sorry, sticker number 4085. And so when I run a report to see all the sticker numbers, addresses that that sticker number applies to, it'll give me a range from the years of 2022 through 2016 or 2008, right? Every year, whatever property that sticker number was assigned to, I get that address, and Kenwood does not appear in that report. So if she would like, I mean, I could take the proof that she has and like review it and see if I can get it to correlate with the rental registration, but when I pulled the file, the physical file we keep on hand in our file cabinets downstairs, the last rental registration I have on file for Kenwood is 2020.
Okay.
There was a few addresses that we had that issue with.
I did come before the board last year because we had some changes in the
No,
office.
I remember.
And some things were missed. We have created a checklist to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the sticker number that we have for Kenwood is actually 2 numbers in our file, and I did provide that to the office, so that might be one.
Yeah.
Have this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nick, I don't want to make her come back, so maybe we can waive the late fee
Okay.
pending proof that it was paid.
For sure, yeah, and then like whatever, if a previous year is covered in the rental registration, it was an error on our part, clearly, we wouldn't, we would ask the board to amend their decision at that point to not include that year,
Okay,
and then move forward from there.
okay,
I appreciate that.
okay. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, pending approval.
yeah.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fee for 2920 Kenwood for 21 and 22 pending proof and verification by engineer, inspections.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. So Nick, I'm going to list this for both years. I'm going to put both years down here until we get proof otherwise, correct?
Yeah, and if we have 2021, then I'll ask them to put it on the agenda to make an amendment to the.
Okay, okay. Okay, moving on to letter D, 5957 Park Place. Good morning, sir.
My name is Daniel Brown,
Daniel Brown. Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
and I shut down my apartment as of 2021, as of February, because after the virus, I changed everything, and I didn't have nobody in my apartment till November or August of 2022. And I got 2 separate houses now, and the meter's on the upper floor for the second apartment. There ain't no meters on it. There's no refrigerator in it, and I'm not renting it. So I've been there over 30 years, and I've never missed a payment since I've been there. And I moved from the back house to the front house. Apparently, I wasn't paying attention, and I forgot to pay. I only got one renter, and that was $5.
Okay,
Uh,
go ahead, Nick.
We have Mr. Brown listed as the owner of the property since 2011. He has registered 3 units on time since 2011, so there's a total of 4 units at the property address, with 1 being owner occupied. And so this is the first year that he's missed, the rental registration for the property address. Now, with it being a 4 unit, it would be, he can submit affidavits for the units that aren't occupied or are in a condition where he doesn't have an active lease on the property, there is an exemption of the rental registration for that. It would be a $5 charge per unit because the rental unit community does not kick in until you hit 5 units. But, you know, we would just, he's registered at the time every year, there's been no issues here.
So are we charging them the $5 for the 2 units that aren't occupied, or and we need an affidavit?
If he's claiming that they were vacant, and then he can submit the affidavit for those units, that's fine. And then moving forward, if, when he does get a tenant, and what happens is if he gets a tenant in there and they sign a lease, he has 30 days to register that unit then.
Okay.
If he doesn't register the unit within that 30 days, then he's assessed a late fee. So a lot of times owners will just register them for the $5 prior to the April 15th deadline and not have to worry about, you know, remembering to do it at the time a lease is signed.
So we're going, if we're inclined to waive the late fee, we're still charging him $5 for each of the 3 units, correct?
Correct.
And then when he applies the affidavit, does he get the $10 back for the 2 units?
No, it wouldn't be, the affidavit would be submitted with the rental registration.
Okay, I just want to make sure he understands that.
Oh, I understand.
Okay, you're
The
good?
whole thing is, I only got 1 unit now. The upstairs apartment is gone. I'm not renting it no more. It's done.
But I think we're not talking about 2023, we're talking about 2022. So I don't know if they were gone in 2022. but
There was no one there till almost the last 3 months of the year.
Nick can explain, sir. All we needed from you is an affidavit saying that they weren't occupied in 2022.
And just.
That's all we need.
Regardless of if he doesn't intend to rent it, the existence of the unit is what we're concerned with
Okay.
accounting for, because he could sell it tomorrow, and then it's back, you know, with a
Gotcha.
tenant, you know.
Okay.
You're telling me I got
2022 for 3
registered
units.
the apartment upstairs?
Motion to waive the,
For it, that's all.
That's right, go ahead.
motion to waive the late fee for 5957 Park Place for 2022 on 3 units.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Number 12, the meeting's open to the public. Would anybody like to speak? Chris, you're good? Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.